So after the evening where the Virgin Avengers went viral for having a vengeance in Von Dome nightclub, all of their red pill clout combined could not get them a date to take home with them from the club that night. So instead they went back to Sneako's apartment and Nick Fuentes lectured Sneako and Lux Maxine 19-year-old streamer Clavicular on the importance of white people owning and embracing their right to say the N-word, or other crucial things for people to have the right to say, like being able to tell your girlfriend to shut the F up. I'm sure Nick would know a lot about this because he's had a total sum of 0 girlfriends in his 25 years on this planet.
And our generation says, well, I'm like a white boy. Can a white boy catch a vibe? Am I the white boy of the year? And it's sort of like craving approval from these other groups. It's like, hey, Tyrone, am I the white boy of the year? And the Tyrone is the cool guy. Oh, yeah, you are white boy. Oh, cool, goody. And it's sort of saying, like, I'm a silly bitch. But if you are a wang half and say, look, I'm a white-ass nigga going hard as fuck. Like, I hit people with the car. I tell my girlfriend, shut the fuck up. Hey, shut the fuck up, bitch. Stop talking to me like that. Don't call me a bitch. Get the fuck away from me. My cortisol. That's like, that is what we need.
Now this little monologue would inspire Nick's self-admitted autistic friend, Clavicular, who recently suffered an overdose with the main purpose of ingesting the drugs that he overdosed on, being that he needs them to actually socialize like a normal human throughout his long-winded live stream. So yeah, this absolute crucial pillar to society, he went on the Fresh and Fit podcast. So it's all these like red pill freaks kind of recycling each other's platforms and whatever. He went on Myron's platform to stress the importance of everyone being able to say the N-word, to basically strip it of its historical weight or its racial charge.
Huh? I just asked you what you said, so that's me checking you. I
mean, like, you're gonna sit here and tell me, like,
why do you feel comfortable saying that as a white man?
Do it. Well, the reason I feel comfortable saying it, because I know that I'm not a person who's racist. I don't really give a shit about, you know, any political issues. I just want the ability to really say what I want and have freedom over not only my content, but my speech. So for me to restrict myself based on some random, like, you know, garbage and historical context seems kind of silly to me, seems kind of ridiculous. It kind of is almost taking power away from the word to say it. So I think it actually does society a justice to, you know, openly be ripping this on air. Quite frankly.
I'll let you have your opinion, but I don't agree.
Clavicular would then be pressed a second time on why he thinks it's alright to say the word. And he would again weaponize or use his ignorance as almost like a crutch, basically stating that it's acceptable for him to use the word because he's not a racist guy. He doesn't mean any malice or ill intent by saying it. He's just saying it because it's a quote-unquote, as he puts it, fun word to say.
Are you like mixed, or are you just like pure white?
I'm pure white.
So I was just wondering, like, what makes you like say like the N-word?
Of course. Well, I just like it, you know?
You just like it? You think white people can say the N-word? Like, you think that's acceptable?
I think I can say the N-word.
Why you think it doesn't matter?
Well, because I'm just kind of like a free-spirited guy. Like, I don't really think about like social constraints and shit like that. Just like, I want to say something, of course I'm gonna say it, you know?
Okay, I respect it.
Not like a racist thing. It's just like, it's a fun word to say. Like, do you say it?
Yeah, I mean,
exactly. It's a fun. Is it not a fun word to say? Is it not appropriate in a lot of situations? For me to like lose access to such like a funny word just seems like so like shitty to me, and I don't want that.
So yeah, as long as you like using it in the right way.
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys understand why inherently this is just wrong, right? The word is tied to centuries of racism, slavery, segregation, violence. So any white person saying it and trying to use ignorance as an excuse for why they're able to say it or why it's fine that they're saying it, like, I don't mean any harm, or I'm using the word to reduce its power or its weight. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't matter what your intention is behind saying the word. As a white dude, you're not going to be able to erase or restructure the history of a word that was used by white people to degrade black people, right? So no matter how many times these Nick Fuenteses and Clavs want to say, you know, I'm a friendly guy, I'm not a racist, I'm just saying this word so I can strip it of its weight. You know, freedom of speech, we should be able to say whatever we want. Cap. It doesn't matter if they're trying to make the argument that they're not using the word with a racist intent. The impact of that word is what's relevant here, not your intention behind using it. Now, I know to like 99% of you guys, this is probably very obvious and crystal clear, but I bring it up because it's these creators, Nick and Clav, who have tried to reshape this narrative. They've tried to set a new precedent on, you know, who can say this word in what context, right? And that has effectively birthed the creation of this character, Chud the Builder. Now, before we get into what this freak does, let's understand his name to begin with. The reason why I say he's a product of the lane that Clavicular and Nick Fuentes have built is because their audiences often use that word Chud. Now, this guy on Instagram, Etymology Nerd, he did a good job at breaking down the history behind the word Chud. And the irony is that the same way these far-right creators like a Nick Fuentes or a Chud the Builder claim to be using the N-word as a way to strip it of its historical context, by this freak calling himself Chud, he's actually accomplishing exactly what he claims to want to be accomplishing by hurling racial slurs out in public. The word Chud actually used to just mean far-right incel loser. But the far-right incels started using the word as a way to kind of abolish any negative connotation or degrading history associated with it. I'll let this guy explain the backstory behind the word Chud, but just understand this guy walking around calling himself Chud the Builder, the name essentially conveys the message that he is constructing the persona of a far-right incel loser.
I don't think people realize that the history of the word chud is a prolonged battle for power between the online left and right. Like right now, many people seem to think that it's just a synonym of loser, but the term actually comes from a 1984 sci-fi movie where it stood for cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller. That term was then popularized by the Chapo Trap House podcast to refer to the kind of right-wing losers who live in their mother's basements. Then it started being used by far-left 4chan users who, believe it or not, actually exist, along with this Chud Jack character to parody stereotypical far-right reactionaries.
That's why you see it in the Nothing Ever Happens meme and the Billions Must Die meme, but at a certain point the far-right Chud started using those memes themselves, trying to appropriate the term back to regain control over the insult. Apart from on a few forums, however, that effort seems to have failed, as additional memes like My Chud Son further solidify the meaning of a far-right loser, and it was this sense of the word that drove Chud to its recent popularity. At its core, the term is a reaction to ongoing political events, but the meaning is now broadening as it reaches the mainstream. Many normies are just using it as a self-deprecating joke, which again pushes power back toward the middle. Even so, that past meaning will continue to leave traces in how we apply the word. If you call yourself a fat chud as a joke, at the end of the day you're still referring to this guy, meaning that the word continues to have a political power. And if a conservative does something stupid, all you have to do is call them a chud and they can't do anything about it.
Alright, so now that we understand this guy's name, let's understand why he is guaranteed to either end up badly beaten up and broke, or in jail, or maybe even dead. Oh, but first, back to his name. I always thought it was a Canadian show, but Bob the Builder, that was like one of my favorite shows I remember as like a 5-year-old. It had all the talking tractors and tools and stuff. Whoever created that show should be suing Chud the Builder right now because he single-handedly destroyed their brand for at least the foreseeable future. So this guy, I had not realized, has been doing this little disgusting shtick for months now, where he basically live streams, walks around different towns, calling black people the N-word, trying to basically test how far he can push people with racial slurs before they inevitably fight back. When they do, he threatens to call the police, spray them with pepper spray. He even tried to make a citizen's arrest, which is where, like, if you see someone committing a crime, you can, I guess, detain them until the cops come. So he's provoking these people with racism and then trying to play the free speech card when they give him a reaction. It's all for content, and that's why I say it's kind of like a spin-off, a much darker spin-off of what Nick Fuentes and Clavicular and these guys were preaching about months before, because this Chud the Builder guy is still trying to say that this is all under the guise of free speech, right? Like, this is just him expressing himself. He's allowed to say whatever word he wants to say, right? Cap. The only real difference here is that Nick Fuentes and Clavicular, they were saying the N-word behind a computer screen or, you know, in an environment where they were safe. This Chud the Builder guy is just taking it a step further by saying it to random people on the street.
It's a white boy calling him. This is him right here.
Calling Nick. Don't walk up on me.
You ain't never safe.
You think I'm never safe?
I don't give a f. I mean, at the end of the day, I just want you to.
You're a Nick.
I'm a Nick.
Yeah, you're a Nick.
Hold on. Go down, big boy.
Shut up. Come on, come do something. Come do something. They chimping out. They chimping out. Dumbass. He's chimping out. He don't know how to drive in the parking lot. He's mad I called him a.
So as you can see, right, this is disgusting behavior. He's yelling these racial slurs at black people. They give him a reaction, and he plays the victim card and makes it seem like they're in the wrong for getting mad at him. And that clip I just played you, that was like content that this guy was doing months and months ago. So it only gets worse. We're going to take it all the way back, and I'll show you how bad it is for this guy right now. He's about to lose everything. But let's start with how he even got to this point in the first place. So the reason why this guy went on a dummy mission to build an entire brand around pushing the limits on how much of a racist buffoon you could be in public is because it was actually his racism that allegedly lost him his job in the first place. So what does this bright entrepreneur end up doing? He makes his way into the game of content creation, where the entire purpose of his brand and his live streams is to basically yell racial slurs at people in the middle of the street. Now I know sometimes being in desperate need of money can make you do some crazy things, but I got a much better way for you guys to earn some money on the side. And of course, that's with FreeCash.com. Yes, you've heard about me talk about it before. Tons of you guys told me you made some pretty good cash just by playing some games on your phone. No, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You're not going to become a millionaire, but it's a free app that literally will pay you to play mobile games. Either scan the QR code you see on the screen or hit the link in the description. Sign up, make an account with freecash.com. It's super simple. You just need your email and a password, and then boom, you're there. You can start making money by playing mobile games. Link in the description or the QR code. Sign up, make that account, and let's start making some money. So a while back, this post was circulating social media. It's a Facebook group where they basically report on idiots in cars in Clarksville, which is, a small town. And this person says, so let's talk about this guy. My mom is driving me to school. This guy almost sideswiped us, so he went in a different lane and he came over and spat on my mom's car, and I asked, what's your problem? He holds up a cross and yells the N-word. So this is what we do now? Y'all white people calling black people N-words? Crazy. I'm telling you, in my personal opinion, this is most definitely the Nick Fuentes-ification of the world. And it's bled into even more mainstream streamers like Clavicular and Adin Ross thinking it's cool to, make racist remarks or say the N-word, which then spirals into this guy taking it all the way to the farthest extreme possible by making a whole streaming channel around yelling racial slurs in people's faces, right? So anyways, he basically gets exposed in this Facebook group for having some racist road rage in Clarksville against this mother and her daughter driving, right? I guess word spreads pretty quickly in Clarksville because, according to Chud himself, this got him fired from his job. So he posted this onto Twitter in December. The caption says, here's the original post that the Black Lives Matter crowd canceled me for 2 years ago. I got fired and was forced to start my own company. Since I started my company, the derogatory words have been trying to starve and harass me the entire time. They want the gun to my head apology. It won't happen. So again, he's playing victim here while simultaneously continuing to use these racial slurs, saying that it's everyone else out to get him, harassing him, trying to starve him, take the food off his family's table, get him fired from his jobs, unless he apologizes, which he says he won't. And we know he didn't. He doubled down. Again, this is the Nick Fuentes-ification of the world. There are millions of people out there who are donating money to Nick Fuentes. So even if all the biggest banks, all the biggest streaming platforms, even if the mainstream world or society as a whole blackballs him from everything, making it extremely hard to make money, there's still people out there who will donate to this guy. So this Chud the Builder guy, he tries to take that same route. Except he's even more delusional than Nick Fuentes and is more racist than Nick Fuentes and is playing the victim card 10 times harder than Nick Fuentes even does. So it starts with his entire hometown of Clarksville wants him out of there, right? Does not mess with him. It'll slowly progress into him becoming public enemy number one within the entire internet. But again, let's take it back. We'll start with what happened after he lost his job, and you'll see how he has a continual habit of playing victim in every circumstance, not taking any accountability for his racism.
This man tries to get baptized at a particular church. They tell him, hey, buddy, word around town is you're no good. Please don't come back on our premises. My baptism was coming up before I went viral. Because of the pressure coming from people who hate me, my baptism was canceled and I was banned from the community. He even showed a message the priest sent him. And I'll be real, bro. All right? I mean, this is Android. There's really no way to really confirm this, but we'll just take his word for it, okay? Because he's an attention seeker. The priest sounds pretty reasonable. He says, listen, man, for the safety of everyone involved, because of all the death threats, please just stay out of things until things are better. Praying for you, but please stay out of the community. You and I can have a visit somewhere at some other location once the death threats stop.
So the guy can't even go and get baptized, right? It's not looking good for him. He's blackballed from his own community. Now, what is the first thing he does? Well, obviously, you pull on those sympathy strings, all right? You can't get a job. You can't find work. No one wants to associate themselves with you. Maybe you can muster up a couple people dumb enough on the internet to actually give you a couple coins. Sadly, that is exactly what happened. This wannabe victim dropped a GoFundMe link faster than Lil Tay dropped an OF link when she turned 18, and I don't know which donors are more disgusting. So you could see here, help the Chud and his family, and you get a whole little sympathy story to go along with it. My name is Dalton, and I'm reaching out with a heavy heart, fighting to protect my family and my business. Just over a year ago, I started DLE contracting in Clarksville out of sheer necessity. I was fired from my previous contracting job after Black Lives Matter activists targeted me over words I shared online. Jokes and opinions they twisted to end my career. Yeah, road raging racist slurs in traffic. Yeah, that's definitely jokes and opinions that were just simply twisted, right? Again, this is a professional victim we got on our hands here. He continues, with no other way to support my family and my precious 2-year-old son, I poured everything into this small business, working tirelessly to provide for my family and build a future. Now that small business he's talking about, I'm not sure if it's like a construction business that he started, because I think after he got fired, he started his own construction business, but that went nowhere because again, his whole town wanted nothing to do with him. But then he started the quote unquote business of live streaming himself, racially rage baiting people in public. And he calls this his dream. That's the worst part. Now, my dream is under attack, not for the quality of my work, but for what I say online. I've shared mild jokes, unfiltered thoughts, and yes, sometimes I've used the N-word in what I thought was edgy, harmless humor. I know it's controversial, but it's my right to speak freely. For that, hundreds of people in my city are slandering my business, spreading lies to tear down everything I've worked for. The hate has escalated to a horrifying level. I've received death threats so vile they shake me to my core, people threatening to and murder me, and even targeting my 2-year-old son with unspeakable cruelty. As a father, hearing these threats against my little boy breaks my heart and keeps me up at night. Yeah, hearing the threats against your child, that breaks your heart, but threatening people in person, yelling racial slurs at people in person, that's completely okay, right? That's your dream that's now under attack. But the dream turned into a nightmare, and he continues saying, in the midst of this nightmare, a spark of hope emerged. I went viral on Instagram, gaining over 23,000 followers who connect with my story, my resilience, and my refusal to be silenced. People are beginning to stand up for American ideals and values. This platform is a chance to turn things around, but right now, I'm broke. The slander has crushed my business's income, and I'm struggling to keep food on the table, pay our bills, and protect my family and this onslaught. I need your help to bridge this gap and rebuild. This is why at the beginning of this video I brought up to you guys the Clavicular and the Nick Fuentes cases, because like I said, there is a difference between intention and impact. Like this Chud the Builder's guy intention behind saying the N-word might be different than Clavicular. Clavicular might be kind of trying to mask it as if it's more harmless, but the impact is the same thing. It was because people embraced and accepted these creators like a Nick Fuentes, like a Clavicular, for using racist terms in a quote-unquote joking way that has now spiraled into idiots like this who believe that it's their calling to go out on the streets spreading or fighting for American ideals by yelling racial slurs at people, all for the sake of freedom of speech, right? So yeah, Nick and Clavicular, they might have thought it was harmless saying this word, but you could see the impact it's had, right? It's empowered other people, worse people, to start causing chaos in the streets, all, masked under the narrative that they're doing this to fight for freedom of speech, right? And the worst part is that people are actually donating to this clown. You had this anonymous giver. Of course, they're not going to show their real name or nothing, right, when they're donating to this freak, but they gave $300. They say, I pray that God will keep you and your loved ones and friends safe. I pray that he will provide all your needs and that he will send you encouragement and a lot of love and support, that he will help you in overcoming your enemies and to grow closer to him, to be made new. I'm not reading this nonsense. This is insanity.
You see, the problem for them is everybody's watching this and we all see what's going on. I'm being persecuted for a law that does not exist. They're throwing bullshit charges at me to try to discourage me, to try to make me silence myself. Not gonna happen. It's not illegal to say, look at this guy harassing my community behind me. Look at this guy causing an issue in my community. He's chimping out. Call him a hard R and say, get the fuck away from me. In fact, get out of my neighborhood. That's not illegal. You know what it is? It's frowned upon to the people who want to keep us silent long enough to where we just go extinct. They know that white people are a threat to this system that they have going today. They don't want us to rise up again. I won't give up. Keep it coming.
So as you can see here, amidst all the donations that he got, amidst the 23,000 followers on Instagram that led him to believe that this was his calling in life, he feels empowered. He feels charged up. He thinks he's fighting the good fight here. But it's obvious he's an absolute psychopath, right? Because already at this point, he had already lost a lot. After he posts his GoFundMe, someone reads the whole part about, him trying to get sympathy about his son, saying like his son is in danger, people are threatening his son and all that stuff. So this dude is like, is this all worth it to put the safety of your kid in jeopardy so that you can film yourself calling people racial slurs to make money on Twitter? Like, that's so pathetic if that's the case, especially when it's evident you can actually bring in your own income. And I wouldn't be surprised if Child Protective Services ends up knocking on your door soon. And Chud the Builder replies to this guy saying, I haven't made any money from Twitter. Huh? Because, yeah, just so you guys know, like, even people like Nick Fuentes, they cannot actually monetize their content on Twitter, no matter how many likes they get. But Chud also says here that they took his son a long time ago. So I guess according to him, he has no custody of his son, right? So he's lost his child. He's lost his ability to make money. All he has is these people cheering on the clown show that he started online. But that's enough to keep him going. But it wasn't always like this, all right? So like as he gets more popular, he starts getting exposed for the person he really was before the internet started gassing up his Chud the Builder persona.
This black dude from the same city as Chud, he is appalled. He is flabbergasted at Chud's new racist arc online because Chud was his biggest fan. Chud was in his DMs eating cock. So he was effing me up about this Dalton situation I've been hearing about is for years. Dude was my effing biggest fan. Used to listen to my music, buy clothes from me, trying to talk black and use slang and ish, even defending black people. It's crazy how white folks flip. I honestly feel like I need that fade though, because this is some BS. Is this you?
Chud, who apparently don't like black people, is posting himself vibing to dude's music on his story, just like a groupie, rotting this dude's cock. Dude is playing him like a fan. Righteous, appreciate you, bro. All right, Chud is asking dude to hang out. He's bringing a Jack Miller because he's a lick. All right, he's begging for black friends. But here's where it gets kind of even goofier, okay? Just goofier. So Chud is rotting this dude cock crazy, bro. All right, dude. God damn it, Laylo B is my new MFing anthem. So don't like us, but art music is your anthem, right? This is hard. But you know why this is his anthem? And this part will really trip you out, okay?
You're about to see doctorate level projection from Chud, okay? So Chud goes, B is my new MFing anthem. This is hard. Dude play him like a fan. Appreciate you for real, fam. Appreciate you. Like, right? But Chud just riding this dude cock. Pause. So dude go, I'm getting back on my ears. Glad you F with it. This dude goes, laugh my ass off, slapped him with the I-24 reference, cut me. Ain't nobody making music for the dope boys out here anymore. We need this. It's
Chud, you got all that to say about black people and you a dope boy? You sell drugs? You a drug dealer?
Chud is going around saying he wants to save America. He wants to save this country, but whole time, Chud is a drug dealer?
So that was back then. This is now. This is how he decided to spend his Christmas in 2025.
Every time. Dirty dirty trash. Every time you see dirty you see dirty trash. You know what I'm saying? Look, you got dumb and trash. They go hand in hand every time.
So as you can see, right, like, this is not a case of someone getting harassed on the street for something they said. This is a case of someone going up to a group of people, unprovoked, yelling racial slurs in their face, asking for something to be done, asking for a reaction because, again, this is all being videotaped. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what constitutes like hate speech versus like freedom of speech. Like, how far can you get away with yelling in people's faces before they're legally allowed to knock the crap out of you? I don't know that limitation. I'm assuming this guy maybe would have been smart enough to read up on the speech laws before he went out on these racial excursions. And if he did, then he probably knows that if he's got a camera going live streaming as he's yelling racist crap in these people's faces, if they do something back to him, it's all documented and he could then go on to sue them and make the bag that, Twitter won't allow him to make, his community won't allow him to make with his construction business. He has no real income coming in aside from donations from other psychopaths, right? So it's likely that this guy was maybe even looking to get knocked out so he can try and get his La Brianna on in court and file a little civil lawsuit, right?
I study rap battles for a living.
So with Chud on this dummy mission, the interactions would only get, more violent, more aggressive. And keep in mind, guys, we're only in December on this timeline. Like, we haven't even gotten to the present day in May. Take a look at how people are handling him back in the holiday season.
Look at him pulling his dick out.
What you gonna do if your mammy get on this dick?
Don't walk up on me. Hey, I think you got room now. I need to get a monster. What are you talking about? Do you own this place?
I do. It's over with.
Hey, don't walk up on me like that. Don't walk up on me, nigga. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing but chimp out. Trying to say I can't come in the store. Look at these dumbass niggas chimping out. What y'all gonna do if I walk in the store? What are y'all gonna do if I walk in the store? Look at him pulling his dick out.
What you gonna do if your mammy get on this dick?
Walk up on me. Yeah, my dick.
Yeah, you
Dumbass nigga.
Yeah, you dumbass.
You don't scare me, nigga.
Now, you know what is one thing that is beautiful about this situation is that, like, even the most disgusting people on the internet, I think everyone is in agreement at how much everyone hates this person, right? And how everyone is aware that what this guy is doing is wrong. Like, amidst all the division in the world on social media, it's kind of a beautiful thing when the internet can come together in agreement on one particular issue. It's very rare that that ever happens, and it's most definitely happened with everyone's collective hatred of Chud the Builder, right? Even the most despicable creators, even the person who I believe inspired this style of content, Nick Fuentes, even he does not approve of what this freak is doing out in public.
To me, it's not nice. And I saw Chud the Builder got a little bent out of shape about what I said. I don't like that approach. That's not my approach. It's one thing to be vicious to the people in the arena. You want to be vicious to Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin. That's fair game. They're in the arena. But I really don't like that approach of antagonizing people in public. I just don't. I don't like that people are out there bothering everybody. I don't like that. So I just think that's wrong. I think it's unethical. Especially for politics, I don't think it's all that endearing. I think we want to be positive. I think it's good to be a positive force in the world. We should be kind. And I know that's Ricch coming from me.
So you know you're doing something wrong when Nick Fuentes, of all people, is saying that what you're doing is offensive. And that's very sad for Chud the Builder, because not only was he isolated from, his family, he can't see his son, his community wants nothing to do with him, he can't go to church. In that earlier video, he couldn't even go to the gas station to get a Monster Energy drink without, quote-unquote, getting harassed, right, for all the racism that he was spewing out, right? But now, his daddy Nick Fuentes, the guy he has been glazing for years, the archetype of this Chud the Builder persona, right? It's Nick Fuentes and Clavicular, who, in my opinion at least, inspired this guy to do what he does. They want nothing to do with him, so you know that probably crushed Chud the Builder more than when he actually lost his son to CPS.
This man can be seen on his Twitter, literally fanboying over Nick Fuentes on his two knees, ready to give Nick Fuentes the sloppiest of toppiest ever in the world. And now he is fanboying over Clavicular, right? So he writes right here, these facts no longer represents the Groper community. So apparently, he wants to represent Nick Fuentes' community. He get a wake-up call very quickly that even the Gropers don't rock with him, okay? So he put, come pick on me in Clavicular, which, by the way, like, Clav is like a 19-year-old kid. So this 30-year-old dweeb fanboying over a 19-year-old kid is crazy.
Now, after losing the support of his idols, Nick Fuentes and Clavicular, Chud the Builder said, I'm going to risk my life for this mission, all right? I'd rather be dead than live in a world where I can't be as racist as I want in public. So racist to the point where even Nick Fuentes wants nothing to do with me. I'd rather fight for this mission till I'm dead than live on this earth knowing that I apologized for my racist acts.
They called the priest and they say, hey, we're going to kill you if you baptize this guy. The priest says, okay, we're not going to baptize him. Then they called the family and they say, hey, we're going to kill every one of you, to the point where it's really not safe for me to be a father in my own home. Then they say, why now, white man? Why now are you standing up to us? Oh, why are you going into our hoods and calling us a n***? What do I got to lose? What else do I have to lose, brother? My life? Take it. I'd rather be dead than in this bullshit tyranny. Fuck you.
Like I mentioned, the entire internet was united on the idea that this guy was scum of the earth, to the point where even the racist white supremacists in the Groiper community that Chud the Builder aspired to be a part of, He would get on online debates with them and they would violate this guy with common sense. And this is coming from people who are self-admitted racist rednecks, they call themselves, all right? So even they're able to talk sense into this guy. And notice how Chud the Builder actually interacts when it's a white face crapping on him versus a black person who is not tolerating his racist remarks, right? Like, he's letting this white guy crap all over him. So if you thought for a second that this guy really was fighting for, you know, American values, for freedom of speech, that's why he was hurling all these racial slurs at these black people. No, this is just a racist individual, right? Because when it's a white guy crapping on him, he's got nothing to say. Freedom of speech is out the window. It's no speech. He's speechless.
I can't say the N-word.
No N-word, no F slur.
But anyways, I get it. You got to make your money. That's fine.
Yeah, I know you don't know anything about that.
I know you're mad that people are donating and supporting me. So I wanted to come on here.
Is that? Yeah, I'm not really mad. You made $37K. That's not even a year's worth of salary, and you've like completely ruined your life. So
that's not a year's worth of salary. Damn.
37? Yeah.
Hey, you must be better off than me, bro.
Yeah, I am better off than you.
That makes me feel good for you. I used to be on your side. I still want to be, brother.
That's crazy that you think 37K is a year's worth of salary.
Why are you talking shit about the redneck saying the N-word? We got to take our country back.
Do you think you're the only redneck that says the N-word? Do you think you're special, bro? I just think the N-word thing is like tired and trite, and it's cheap.
No, it's
you know
the
what
word
I mean?
that they say you can't say, so that's why you must say it. It's a pretty simple principle to most men with testosterone.
You low IQ moron, Neanderthal. I got a job for you. Maybe I'll just pay your broke ass to do it for me, so you can afford to buy some gifts for your kids.
That I do.
What? Go out and say the N-word? Yeah, you're like 50 IQ. It's like talking to a f***ing child, bro. How's it gonna help us take our country back, you f***ing idiot? What are you talking about? Your career is like being a jester for a bunch of people that don't matter.
I run a company. I'm running a company.
Then why are you starting a GoFundMe saying I'm going to go out of business?
They've been trying to starve me for 2 years.
So then, to prove everybody wrong, you decided to double down to make the situation worse for yourself.
Not worse. It's gotten a lot better, dude. I didn't have $37K in my account.
Dude, that's crazy.
I got money to live on. I don't know about you, buddy, but I can get a lot of raw milk and eggs from the Amish guy for $37,000.
Dude, that's so pathetic. Again, it's like short-term versus long-term thinking, dude. You're not gonna.
What I'm doing is standing up for you too.
You're not.
You should be allowed to say that word.
I've never asked you to do that.
You
ever.
should be allowed to say that word. You should
you're not standing up for me. I have no need to go out and call black people the N-word or anybody that's the thing, dude.
You're okay
no. Hear me out.
Because you're okay with censoring yourself because that's what you do for a living.
It's about I want to live in a polite society, and it also includes just being nice and cordial to people in public. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I am nice and cordial in all my videos until they start cheating out on me.
No, dude. Again, because you have a reputation.
I don't care what your opinion is.
So yeah, after all this, grifting with the GoFundMe, with all this stuff, he's got $37,000 to his name. He's trying to tell this other, far-right Groiper guy that he's fighting for him. He's fighting for the Nick Fuenteses of the world so that they can freely say the N-word. And like I showed you guys earlier in this video, that's why I was playing you all those clips of Nick Fuentes and Clap trying to justify and rationalize why it's okay to say the N-word if you're not quote-unquote racist. It spirals into freaks like this attempting to push the boundaries of how far they can take this racism in the real world. And when they get any pushback for it, they view that as censorship, right? Like fighting against my freedom of speech. It's all just backwards. But it gets even more backwards because Chud tries to frame it like he was not approaching individuals, saying all these racist things for no reason, right? He claims that he was actually approaching them on a more friendly vibe.
Cap.
He's live streaming everything, and you could see in the live streams, he's going up to people, asking how their day is, asking if they want some water, offering them whatever, trying to be friends with them. And they start with him. They start the problems with him, and that's what gets him spiraling into start calling them racial slurs. But because it's freedom of speech, he can say whatever he wants, and then they start, acting crazy, crashing out when the racial slurs start coming out of Chud's mouth, right? So look how he tries to flip this entire thing. Again, I think personally he's trying to set himself up for, a lawsuit where he can file a lawsuit against someone. And the whole framing of this is I'm a friendly guy. I'm just going up to people on the street and they're the ones starting the problems with me. Because if that was really the case, then obviously, if one of these confrontations escalates, he can claim self-defense or he can, sue someone for causing physical harm to him.
I'm literally dismantling these agenda of TMZ clipping, misrepresenting me. The live stream keeps everything live, keeps it to where no one can say, oh, this guy's like going out and instigating and harassing, even though they banned me for harassing. I walk up to the and I say, hey guys, what's up? How's it going? You guys need any water? You need any food? They said, no, we don't need nothing. Get that camera out my face. I said, hold on. I think we got off on the wrong foot. I said, I asked if you need any water. I said, it's my right to record anybody in a public park. This is Centennial Park that's paid for by the public.
So anyways, the live streams only get worse. He ends up getting banned off Kick, not monetized on Twitter. It becomes very difficult to make money, right? Like Nick Fuentes is in the same position. When you start saying such messed up things, no platform wants nothing to do with you. Even if you have supporters, like no one wants to host your streams. So it's going to be very hard for you to make money. Anyways, I say all that to say, remember how he tried to flip it to be like, I'm not the one going up to people unprovoked, just yelling racial slurs in their face. I'm going up to them, offering them stuff, trying to be their friend, be friendly, and they're the ones causing problems with me. This is obviously still him antagonizing, right? Because take a look at this clip. He literally goes up to random people, and yes, he's offering them something like he says he does, but you tell me if this looks like he's not provoking these people first before things escalate, right? Like this is obviously still him provoking these people, even though he tries to hide it or disguise it in the form of him just being friendly and approaching people on the street while he does his live streams.
Come on, get some burgers. But we got to make sure you believe in free speech first. Yes or no? So white people can say, you got to, come on, if you believe in free speech, it's free speech. You don't believe in it? Come on, here. You gotta tell me. Yes or no? Yes or no? You believe in free speech? Free speech. Yeah, like people can say what they want in America, free speech.
It depends on what you say.
White people say yes or no?
No. Come on, bro. We passed that.
Free speech.
You brought up the wrong way. You was taught the wrong way.
No.
So
free speech.
You come on. No, say something else better than that, bro. Don't do that.
So the First Amendment says you can say whatever you want.
But you know what we went through. Don't bring
I don't know what you want to do.
So that was one of the less confrontational interactions he had. He got lucky here. He's been lucky this entire time. Until the day he gets the lights knocked out of him, he should be considering himself lucky for being able to get away with this type of behavior. But take a look at how he responds when things escalate a bit, right? Again, always playing the victim here, right? So he starts throwing out, the N-word and all this stuff, all these racial slurs. But when someone reacts to it, he threatens them with pepper spray.
What? Come on over here. You heard me, or what? Back up.
Shut the
back up.
Stop saying.
Or what?
Why you say?
You might want to back up. You're gonna get sprayed. Because I can say it's America.
But why?
Because it's America.
But why?
Because I can say what I want. Or what? Back up.
This is why.
Back up.
It's okay.
Nobody's doing it.
Yeah. Back up.
Everybody was chilling. You're just being.
Yeah, it's all good, bro. Don't worry about it, man.
He heard the word. He's like a Manchurian candidate. He's a Manchurian candidate. He heard his target word. Bro didn't want to get sprayed. I got something else for you too if you want it. I'm trying to spare your life. Get the out of here. You want to go viral? You're going to be millions of views tomorrow morning. You're going to be millions of views tomorrow morning. Just wait for that. Yeah, you don't give a you don't look like you care about much. You shouldn't be driving. You look a little drunk. You look drunk.
Yeah.
Do I need to get somebody over here?
Put the mace down, see what happens.
Or what?
Put the mace down, see what happens.
You gonna get blown apart? Come on over here. Come on.
But it's kind of interesting when you see someone a lot bigger than Chud actually confront Chud, because in this instance, Chud is not loud spoken. He realizes this guy's a lot bigger than him. One hit could knock Chud out, so he's a little careful with what he says to the guy's face, and it's only when he walks away that he actually calls him out. And then if you notice in the video, it's actually a white girl who says to him, hey, like, do you want me to bring that guy back so you could say it to his face instead of, getting all your racism off as you're walking away from him?
Man who's probably gay and needs to get some help.
What's that?
Gay low-key.
We'll count to 3. I'm being nice right now. That's right there across. That's free. You're trying to tell me this isn't a public easement? I stay right here. Don't tell me what to do. Okay, well, move there. Keep yourself chimp out. All right. Look at him chimping out. Be a good boy. You heard me. You heard me. No, I'm good. We're live. Don't touch me, lady. I already said it to his face.
Now, a lot of you guys might be wondering, like, how does this guy get away with this, right? Firstly, there's obviously a difference between hate speech and then, like, freedom of speech, like saying what you want, being able to get away with it, right? But in my opinion, you can classify what he's doing as a hate crime. And recently in Georgia, there was a couple that actually terrorized a black family at a child's birthday party with Confederate flags, racial slurs, guns, and death threats, and they were sentenced to 15 to 20 years for these crimes. I want to bring this to your attention because it's possible that Chud can face the same type of repercussions, depending on what state he's in while he's doing this.
And shotguns pulled up to their home and pointed weapons at the children and the other people at the party. Here's what she said.
I do accept responsibility for what I've done. I know I was in the wrong. But I want you all to know that that is not me. That is not me. That's not him. I would never walk up to you and say those words to you. And I'm so sorry that that happened to you. I forgive you. I forgive all of you. I'm not a mean spirit like this. I do. I forgive you. And to your family, I'm sorry. It had to come this far. But please don't think that I had any hate or anger in my heart. I was too short for that. And I'm saying it. I don't have time to have hate in my heart for anybody. And I do really forgive.
Judge William McLean noted before sentencing that given the nature of the language use, heavy use of the N-word directed at the people and children at that birthday party, he said that there was no doubt that this was a racially motivated crime. And he also said driving around town in a convoy of pickup trucks with Confederate flags and waving weapons was seen as a threat, not just to this family, but to the many people who ended up calling 911 that day. He said that is why he felt like the defendants had to be held accountable.
Just to correct myself, this was actually a case from way back in 2015, but it doesn't make a difference. The law is the law, right? So this was a crime because it actually involved armed threats, aggravated assault, terroristic threats. Like, it wasn't just like Chud, in his case, just going up to people and yelling racial slurs in their face. Verbal slurs alone are generally protected speech under the First Amendment. However, if they qualify as quote-unquote fighting words that incite immediate violence, it could classify as, a misdemeanor or harassment or disorderly conduct or something like that. But this is where it gets deeper. He's yelling in these people's faces, right? Being racist to them. And I guess that necessarily would not classify as a hate crime. But a lot of times right after, he provokes these people with racism, they give him a reaction, and then he, plays the victim and says, you want to get shot, you want to get pepper sprayed, you want to get tasered. So he's threatening them, right? Now, the key here is, would this be self-defense? Would him, using all these racial slurs classify as, fighting words to where if things escalated after he said these racist things and, someone punches him or whatever, and he actually, pepper sprays them or shoots them even worse, can that classify as self-defense if the initial slurs he was using can be classified as, quote-unquote fighting words? Well, again, even the white supremacists online absolutely despise this guy, right? And they kind of ponder on whether or not he can actually get away with defending himself if someone ends up, knocking him out or shooting him over the racist crap that he's been saying? Can he play the self-defense card, basically, if he's the one provoking these people with racial slurs?
You're going to get shot or the kicked out of you. When that happens, you're not going to win a lawsuit, right? This is an insane take, right? So one of these kick streamers was like, hey, whoever hits this guy, punches him in the face or beats him up, if you catch a charge, you can create a GoFundMe and you're going to get like $100,000 easy, right? For your defense. The streamer's 100% right. When they beat the shit out of you, or worse, right? They're going to get insane amounts of sympathy. You are going to do so much damage to the movement, which is why I'm calling you out. I'm trying to stop you from doing this dumb shit. And I know you're only doing it because you're a grifter who's just click chasing sensationalist content, right? But think about the risk you're taking. Is it worth it? I don't know how much you're getting. Probably not enough for your life. A lot of them want to beat the shit out of you, rightfully so. I think you deserve it, right? If you're going into black neighborhoods and calling people the hard R, you deserve to get the shit kicked out of you. You don't deserve to die. When this dude said, if they come at you, they're going to get a lot of money, he's right. He's not encouraging anyone to assault you. He's stating a fact. He goes into black neighborhoods. He antagonizes people. Right? He says they're chimping out, comparing them to monkeys, trying to get them really upset. He then says it's because of free speech. It's not.
So yeah, I don't know how he can possibly use the self-defense argument if he's the one who ends up, shooting or pepper spraying someone when they retaliate, when he, uses these racial slurs in their faces. At the same time, if they do retaliate, right? Like if someone knocks Chud out because he said something racist to them in public, can he end up suing that person who knocked him out and, collect a little payday? Well, most likely not if the judge has common sense and takes a look at these live streams and sees what this guy is doing to actually provoke the individual that will inevitably end up knocking him out.
You can't create the threat. If you do that, here's what's going to happen. They're going to go to jail, right, obviously, for either assault or murder, right? But let's say you live, and let's say you want to sue them for assault. Let's say you want to go after them for beating you up. The defense is they're going to screen record hours of you calling black people the hard R, going into neighborhoods intentionally with a gun on you and pepper spray, starting fights, calling them the hard R, saying they're chimping out, and they are coming back and they're going to go, are you out of your friggin' mind? You're never winning that case. And then they will have a countersuit. You'll lose. I'm trying to help you because you are dumb.
Now, the irony in all this is that, obviously he's doing this to make some money, right? He's live streaming now, and not even on Kick anymore, on this, scammy, crypto weird streaming platform. He's banned from everywhere. He has to go to the bottom of the barrel to try and make a little bit of coin, right? The irony is that it was only once he was off stream that he actually met someone who was finally courageous enough to do a little bit more than just talk some sense into this guy.
Let me holler at you then. Come on outside. My truck's over there. What do you want to holler about? Look at him chimping out. Come on, crack me then. Do something then. You think I'm waiting on because I'm worried about that? Come on, do something.
So as you can see, Chud's phone gets knocked out of his hands, right? He doesn't have his cameraman with him here. And this first guy who knocked Chud's phone out of his hand, he ends up taking off. But some other individuals end up confronting Chud, and this is where things get even worse.
Now that it's more of us out here. You gotta perform. Alright. Because they're here. You call it what you want. This guy was talking to me cordially. I was. But you started calling me the N-word. Big bro. Don't bro. Big bro. Let him have it. Hey, what, fool? You got 18 left. I know this person. Let him have it. Huh? I spit on you. Do it again, you're gonna go to jail today. You spit on him? Oh, my mama, you just spit on him. Big bro. Should have did that, big bro. I'm fit to. I swear I'm fit to. He came in the stove. He was cool as hell.
Talking shit.
No. He was cool as hell. And he came out the bathroom and I looked. I said, bro, I know you don't know. He said, you want a picture? I said, bro, no, I'm not taking no fucking picture with you. I said, I know you do this shit for content. Because he wasn't even like that. Until the nigga slapped him. You weren't out here when the nigga slapped him, was you?
He called the police on him. But what he do is he get us amped up and they call the police, bro. Hey,
is that not hate speech though? Cuz can't go to jail for hate crime? What the fuck?
So again, sadly, this wasn't live streamed or documented to be able to actually see, but you can hear someone in the background saying, I spat on you, and Chud says, do it again, you'll end up in jail. So Chud got spat on, right? And he's getting cornered from all sides. He manages to end up, I guess, on his phone going live. And while he does that, he ends up calling the cops, trying to get the cops to this gas station in fear of his life. Now, he's not so tough here with no pepper spray. You know, maybe he has a gun on him, but he probably realized here, like, hey, I'm provoking these people, so I can't claim self-defense if I end up shooting someone because I'm scared for my life after the racist things I said to them. You see how this situation gets tricky? You can't really, you know, claim self-defense when you're the one starting these fights. And also, like, if one of these guys spits on you or knocks you out, how are you going to file a lawsuit when you were the one causing these fights? So look how disgusting this is, all right? He's on the phone with the cops, and he's continuously still using the N-word while referring to the people who are surrounding him and who are angry at him, who he deems as a threat. That's why he's calling the police, because he deems these guys as a threat, but he's still referring to them not, you know, as humans, not as people, not like I'm surrounded by people. No, it's in this racial slur.
Left. The one that spit on me, left. There's two other niggers here. There's a bunch of other niggers here. Can you please hurry? Stop approaching me. Stop approaching me. Leave me alone. Tell it, dude. I'm trying to get out of here. They keep pulling their cars behind mine. One's parked right in front of mine. They're false imprisoning me. He's walking up on me with a gun. Yes, dude, yes. There's many of them here. The one that assaulted me, left. The one that spit on me, left. There's two other niggas here. There's a bunch of other niggas here. Can you please hurry up? Yeah, you might not want to keep walking up on me. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm going to tell you again, leave me alone. I will defend myself. I'm starting to fear for my life.
caught him reporting somebody in person.
I got him on stage. He's wearing great.
What he does is start shit, but then he'll pull a gun out on you as soon as you do something. But I'm licensed to carry too. We both licensed to carry. I finally ran into him. He got his, I got mine. But he on the phone with the police. He just obviously started with somebody.
If what you're doing is going around using racial slurs and profanity, that's a little different.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Are you gonna argue that in court? Because I walked into the gas station and walked out. Okay. And as I'm walking to my truck, I turn around, he's got something behind his back that looks like a gun. It's a drill.
Well, they're saying that.
So I don't give a fuck what they're saying. It's all recorded.
I got you.
And it's live streamed.
I know. I got you. And I'm just telling you.
And I have every right to say whatever I want on the internet without being chimped out on in public.
Okay.
All right.
You got your ID?
Hey, what was your name and badge number?
714001162.
Now, the beautiful part is, I don't know if these cops are familiar with this guy online, they're familiar with him from, the town that he's in, whatever the case is, or if they just heard him on this call constantly using racial slurs when he was talking to the police. Anyways, when the cops do end up pulling up, they say, hey, you can't really press charges if you were hurling slurs at these guys beforehand, right? You got to expect something to be done to you. So that's the beauty of it all, right? With all the antagonizing, all the disgusting, vile crap that this guy has been doing online, it's not just that, his entire hometown or the entire internet even turned against him and collectively, unanimously bonded over their hatred of him, but even the police have a hard time defending this guy.
Especially when your officer comes up to me and says, hey, I've seen your content, but don't you think you kind of would expect this? No, I don't expect people to break the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I've broken no laws. And so I don't appreciate that being an excuse. Well, I'm on you guys' side. I'm on the side of the law and order. I'm trying to restore law and order. These people think there's a secondary law and order amongst themselves. I don't agree with that. And I'm standing by myself on this principle in front of the whole country and world.
If what you're doing is going around using racial slurs and profanity, that's a little different.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Are you gonna argue that in court?
That's all I gotta say about this, you guys. I'll see you guys when this guy inevitably gets knocked out. In the meantime, let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you in the next one.
I study rap for a living.